Good day, everyone. Aran of Aetheric Arts here, and today I have something really special to share with you. So I'm teaming up with Moonbear Apothecary and Soul Transition, my very good friends Jenna and Zach, and we are creating a mystery box, something fun. We are combining our unique approaches and talents with energy medicine, herbal medicine, and sound to create an invitation into the mystery. In particular, we will be combining some of the amazing soundscapes created by Zach, Soul Transition. He does these out of a great inner desire to help heal himself and others and bring peace to the world. Jenna is a very talented herbalist and is bringing some incredibly beautiful unique offerings with herbal medicine to help us ground in and also help align with the bringing forth of the light of the solstice. And I will be contributing some technologies to help with the electromagnetic energies and bring balance into one's life and bring harmony. So what we've got for you is this mystery box, the Solstice Mystery Box. And we're going to have a little conversation about that, which you can watch in full on our YouTube channel. You can also enjoy a mystery box yourself. We will be selling these for $179, and we have 12 available. One lucky individual will be receiving one for free as a show of our gratitude, just to the universe, to the people, to the creator. You know, we want to give back some of what has been given to us. And yeah, we really look forward to sharing with you this mystery, sharing with you some of the amazing experiences that we've all pulled together and helping you advance into the next stage of life as we move through the dark of the winter and into the light of spring. Many blessings, everyone. Thank you for your time, and do let us know if you're interested in picking up one of the mystery boxes.
Well, one day Jenna mentioned that you could make candles out of mullein, and my thought was solstice, candles, sounds, we should do something. Because in Jenna and I's relationship, we have had many magical, first it was Christmas, and then as we opened ourselves up to, you know, where Christmas came from and the other traditions that celebrate this time of the year, it just became a solstice celebration, a Yuletime celebration, a celebration that honors the returning of the sun, right? That's what the solstice is all about. And to utilize the portal, the time that is the solstice, in order to connect our personal intention to the way that we want the world to be. So what is the world that we want to live in? From all my understanding of how I've progressed in my life, it always is looking at myself first, and then there will be a reflection in the external world. So how can we as a group, through this mystery box, create a little magical portal that can help people connect their personal intention to the intention of the whole, and do it in a way that's full of play and joy and spirit and collaboration, and doesn't get bogged down in like seriousness, or just be really playful about it. And so that's what, and then I remember when I had the call with you, Aran, I wasn't even planning to on that call, I was like, maybe you could put in some of your energy tech into the box as well. And it sort of completes the trinity of, I'm bringing this artistic, creative soundscapes, and then Jenna's bringing her herbal creations, which connect us back with the land. And then you're bringing this energy tech, which in some ways I feel like pulls in the etheric realms and pulls in a scientific element of it. And then so the three of us together, by creating this, give somebody else an opportunity to come into our magical world and come into this intention setting together. And by us all doing it, and by us all lighting the mullein candles in our own time, in our own ceremonial, however we want to approach it, with some of the, like guidance that we provided in the box, and the guidance that we're providing in the videos we're sharing, and Just give someone really special a community and a magical box, and we'll see what happens in the external world and in our internal worlds. So,
Love it. Love it.
yeah.
Yeah. They're so deep. So deep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Jenna, I'm curious, what was your thoughts when he kind of like started talking about this? Were you on board from the start, or was it kind of your idea as well?
Yeah, so like you said, like we were on the walk and like there's just so many mullein stalks just on either side, and I knew you can make witches' torches out of them, and it was something that I'd always wanted to do but haven't done yet. And moving this transition that we were in, I like really stepped into the creation of what my brand is, and like the foundation of where it comes from being like crafted in reverence to the land. It's not, I'm just not like mindlessly going out and like picking plants and making things. So I really thought that like it would, I don't know, I think it took a little bit of convincing, um, just because of the nature of like who I am as a person. Like I'm like even like I don't know. It was just interesting how like we came to go about it, and eventually I was like, you know what? Yeah, like that's a really good idea, especially considering the energetics of what's happening on a macro scale right now. And again, like me stepping into like this version of myself, it really felt in alignment, and yeah, here we are.
Cool, cool. Yeah, and I think the candle is perfect, bringing light in this time of um, both physical darkness, where we're in the darkest part of the year, helping bring the sun back with that light, and also filling the darkness of night, and at the same time, doing it with the purifying aspect of the mullein uh, candles, where they have this, atmospheric purifying effect, with the beeswax and the mullein together, purifying the air that you're breathing, and also, and I think purifying the light that's coming
Mm.
forth. So
Totally.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
And the other allies that I'm using, like it's gonna be, I don't want to give too much away, but there's more, it's gonna be like a whole thing, like
Mm,
it's
cool.
not just gonna be the mullein and the beeswax. Like we have a lot more allies there that are gonna aid in whatever ritual way people want to use it, and
Mm,
really fun.
awesome. And you foraged all of these yourself as well?
Most of them, yeah.
Most
So
of them?
all of the stalks I foraged myself.
Uh-huh.
Some of the plants that I'm going to be using to create like the torch and the candle itself. Some of them I foraged. Others I've ethically acquired over the years, and yeah, yeah,
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, it's key factors, ethically sourced, right?
yes,
So
ethically sourced. That's
keeping it
a big
clean.
thing.
Good, good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as to what you said, Zach, in regards to the blending of kind of our three approaches, with the soundscapes being this very, mystical and very ethereal energy, you're bringing in the timings of the cosmos, really. You're bringing in the rhythms of the sky clock. You're bringing in the natural flow of energy in our world and in the skies above us. So that's, on the large scale, it's very profound, and that's kind of helping us locate where we are in our current time and where we are in our own lives, right? Where we are perhaps in our own psyches. And with what you're doing, Jenna, it's like bringing it much closer to the closer scale where it's just, a candle that you're looking at with these other allies you're mentioning, these other herbs. These are for the body, these are for the individual, these are for your space. So it's bringing it much more closer in to the central point. And with what I'm doing with the energy technology, specifically the two pieces I've included, one of them is very much for use with the, purification of water, or perhaps even getting into the exploration of a little bit of dowsing. And for the folks who pick up the mystery box, I'll be happy, to share more about that. We're going to create some documents to share about that a bit. And then also the other piece I'm including is a more for balancing and bringing harmony to the digital world and our interface the with the digital world, which is, our cell phone. So how can we create a more harmonious interaction between ourselves and this part of our world now, this part of our lives, which is so big? And I'm very passionate about that. So, creating the bridge perhaps a little bit between that more expansive cosmic view, that closer to home, micro view, and being the bridge between those two to help assist with the integration of the whole into this box, into this experience that people are going to be getting.
Mm. Yeah, I love what you said initially there about the process that I've gone through in order to create these soundscapes and how I'm tying in the astrological data for. So it will be a gold plated Solstice CD that will have a collection of soundscapes that are intended to work together on the CD so that you can listen into it from the beginning to the end and have an experience that. So in my process of creating these soundscapes, these were all born from their soul transition. My brand and the soundscapes all came from a traumatic brain injury. And prior to the traumatic brain injury, I played metal and rock music with the intention of wanting to bring change to the world. Because from a very early age, I saw all what's the word, the shenanigans that go on at the world stage and thought, well, how are you going to make a difference here? All I see is rock bands getting like 100,000 people out there. I don't see anyone else doing it. And so after the TBI, I took that same intention of wanting to change the world, or not change the world. It used to be I wanted to change the world and I was raging against it. And I recognized through the traumatic brain injury that you can't rage against anything because that just puts you in a bipolar relationship with that thing. And so you have to step into a trinity dynamic and view the paradox and just kind of laugh at it and say, well, that's just what I'm working with right now. And so then you bring the love into it, and then the intention does a quantum leap into a whole nother realm of existence where now the intention is refined, it's very precise. And initially it was for me to heal myself. And then as I started sharing them out into the world, I watched as that intention that I'm embedding into the soundscape was having an effect in the world in a way that the metal and the rock and what I tried to do for 10 years just was not doing at all. In fact, I was
Right.
probably making the problem just worse for me, and it was making the problem worse. So with the soundscapes that you'll hear on the gold, I just love repeating the gold-plated soundscape. It's just so cool. We're bringing CDs back. That's the whole point here.
Yeah, I'm bringing
But
some.
the soundscapes, like you mentioned, each one was created inside of an astrological portal that I was tapped into, and tapped into specifically to refine something in myself that then is present when whoever listens to the soundscape. So you're instead of, and this is no judgment at all, but instead of listening to, there was a period when Ozzy Osbourne died this year when I was listening to a ton of Black Sabbath. So instead of listening to like a guy who's high on many drugs sing about the end of the world and all this sadness, he's making a change. It's important. But instead of that, it's like my intention is as pure and as refined as I can get it to be. But what's cool about that is that I'm not perfect, and I'm working through a lot of things in the creation of this soulscape, of this CD specifically, because at the end of when someone listens to it, they could listen to it without me doing that or with me doing it. It'd be the exact same sound, but there's a whole different vibe in the intention that's present.
Right.
And
Right.
that's what, with the work that you do, Aaron, and in our conversations, we really go into how does this scientifically actually make sense? Like, what are we talking about here? Because I can feel it, and people, when they're tapped into the field, can feel what we're talking about, or what I'm talking about here, at least. Uh,
Yeah, for sure. And
yeah.
I mean the scientific aspect of it is there as well as the mystical and spiritual aspect. And particularly, I'll call attention to the alchemical process in this case. And in the formation of any of the higher elixirs or in the formation of any of the artifacts or stones of the alchemical pursuits, one must start with the nigredo or the black salt, which has been taken from what is the starting material. And so you have to break something all the way down to its lowest form. From there, the refinement begins, the processing, the building back, and the eventual, distillation into the pure form. And that is what you're doing through these soundscapes. That is what I'm doing when I create these energy technologies. And I imagine in some ways as well, Jenna, that's, the process you're going through with the creation of your herbal remedies. And so altogether, we are the three of us, practicing alchemy. And in our own ways, it is, very potent for each of us. And also, we all have our individual journeys, which are going into this. So the combination of our three journeys, our many, many years of experience, the unique perspectives of our lives are being distilled as the alchemical elixir into this mystery box, which then when people receive this and they accept, these gifts and these blessings into their lives and they actually integrate them into their practice, especially around that, potent time, that portal time of the solstice, it is going to give people an opportunity to make that leap, to make that jump through a portal inside of themselves. This is more than just a fun experience, although we are presenting it for fun and for play. It's also actually an exploration of deep, deep internal alchemy, deep internal psychological transformation. And I said this to you the other day, Zach, we are creating an opportunity to experience the mystery at a level which has taken many, many years for us to get to, many years for us to achieve. And between the three of us, we have decades and decades of experience in these practices. And that adds up to a very powerful and very potent elixir in the form of this mystery box that we're going to be making available to people.
Mm.
Yeah, speaking to that Negredo aspect, the Negredo and the Albedo, which is the beginning, they're the same. They're one and the same. You can't begin until you end. You can't build until there's been some destruction, I guess you could say. Look at everything that's happening in the world right now. We are in the midst of building the new earth. It's happening right before our eyes. And it's not going to happen without a dismantling of the structures and the systems that are already at play. So, and speaking to what Zach is saying of you can't rage against it. It starts within. You have to start the process of the new earth within. Be the change that you want to see. And so these are invitations to maybe explore a deeper relationship with earth and with yourself. There's a lot of resistance, I know, to plant remedies and herbal remedies because there could be this program that it might not work as well as something that you could buy from a drugstore for, poison ivy or bee stings or whatever. But that's just a program that you can reprogram once you start cultivating this relationship with yourself and sort of questioning the norm. Then you can start regulating yourself in a way that maybe you hadn't done before. And that's my hope with these boxes, combining all of these technologies, the ethereal copper soundscape magic, then the grounded earth wisdom magic that I'm bringing. You can create a ritual for yourself of regulation. And it doesn't have to be 2 hours of meditation a day. You don't have to sit there, crazy, waving your torch all around, knocking on all your neighbors' doors. It can be whatever you want it to be. But the essence of it is to start within, to regulate from within. And to cultivate some sense of agency and sovereignty over yourself. You are only responsible for your own being. You're not responsible for what other people are doing. You're not responsible for everything that's happening across the world. And we have to look and start with ourselves first. And I think that this is a beautiful invitation and a beautiful collaboration for people who maybe you have been meditating for forever, or maybe you haven't and you want to try it out. And this is a great way to start.
Yeah, well said, well said. And especially I want to call attention to that point of regulating as well. I think that's one of the key points that all three of us, have really sought for in our own practices and in our own lives. To come to a state of inner peace and to come to a state of balance within ourselves, within our soul, within our mind, and our emotions. And so we're giving people this set of tools and set of invitations, as you said, into a greater level of self-regulation and a greater level of peace. And there's a reason why the three of us are sitting here very calm, very relaxed, even despite all that's going on in the world, even despite all that may be going on in our own lives, we have cultivated this energy within ourselves. And that is the true, secret of alchemy. That is the true secret of the mystical practice. And as I said earlier, we're giving people access to this at a high level where somebody can take that quantum leap and they can step, far along the path, what may have taken them years to achieve through the invitation we're giving, through the tools that we are offering. There's an opportunity to make a great advancement, especially in this time of transition where the sun returns, where the light returns.
Yeah, yeah, and we're moving in out of the year of the snake into the year of the horse, which is this fire element. So we have shed, and we are maybe in the process of shedding things that aren't serving, old habits, past versions of ourselves. And I think the element of alchemy here is to use that as fuel to build your new self upon that. It's not to like let that all weigh you down. You can't let the past weigh you down. You can't let that get in the way of who you are meant to be on this earth. You have to use that as fuel. You have to alchemize that and use that to create the new self. And then you'll find that you might magnetize other people who are also doing the same work. And then you start to find your tribe. And then that's where the real building of the new earth begins, where we start seeing more sustainable businesses created and more people doing stuff like this. And it's maybe your tribe is like the norm, where you don't go to the drugstore and you buy all these chemicals and you put it on your body. And then you start to see that ripple out. It's the butterfly effect. And the horse fire element of sovereign agency. That's really what it comes down to. And I think that, it's just like the perfect time for it. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said.
Oh,
Well
yeah.
said.
Yeah.